Hi guys, so this is just a little video on press ups. When people first come to Prime Mover, some people get quite stressed out because they can't do a press up. The fact is, if you've never tried, you won't be able to do a press up. I can't knit a jumper, but I've never had a go, so it just takes practice. You need to start doing it, keep practicing, and your body will start to develop and you'll get the strength to be able to do it. However, doing a full press up right from the off is going to be a difficult task for most people. The misconception that people have is that it's an arm exercise. Obviously your arms and triceps are involved, but it's more shoulders, chest, and even your core and your glutes as well. It's a real full body move. So what you've got to try and remember is that all the body's involved, right from your toes right through to your hands. So the 2 points that are in contact with the floor, 3 points, your hands and your toes. And everything needs to be tense in between. So it's like doing a plank, but then with a dynamic aspect as well. Now when you're starting out, you're probably going to be doing the press ups from your knees. Now when you're doing it from your knees, you want to make sure the hips are forward, as you'll see in the video. Hip position is forward, so you can get some glute activation, get your core involved, and just making sure you maintain that throughout. Don't be sticking your hips back, because if you do, then you're losing any stability through the core. And if you're not building that up, you're never going to be able to progress to the full press ups, which is what we ultimately want. Hand position. You want your palms, so basically no matter what press up you're doing, you want the hand position to be palms facing forward. So imagine I'm laid on the floor now, your hands are going to be so fingers pointing forwards. As you place your hands on the ground, don't go too narrow, because if you go too narrow you're going to do more triceps, and that's a more advanced press up. So we want hands just wider than shoulder width apart. That's going to allow you to use the front of the shoulder and the chest. You want to be getting full depth, so you want your nose almost to the floor. And as your hands are into the ground, almost feel like you're turning your hands. Okay, your hands are staying in the same position. You want to feel like you're grinding your hands into the floor, and that's just going to help stabilise the shoulder as well. So the first progression is from the knees with the hips forwards. Ultimately, we're going to be trying to get to a full press up, so it's the same principle with the upper body, but then we've got the legs extended, you're on your toes, feet together. If you get your feet together, you can get more glute activation. You're going to be squeezing hard through the glutes, keeping your core engaged, just as you would in a plank, but then we've got the dynamic element of the press up as well. So ultimately that's what we're working towards. Now, the stepping stone between those two movements, rather than trying to go from press up from the knees where you can get to sort of 10 or 15, and you can probably get to a point and you're starting to really get stronger at the plank as well. All these exercises interlink. When you get into that level and you can start doing 2 or 3 press ups, there is actually a stepping stone between these two movements, and I'm not really sure what to call it, but as you'll see in the video, you're doing half of the full press up, which is the lowering phase, because your body's always stronger at the eccentric phase of the movement than it is on the concentric. So the concentric means the muscles contracting and pushing you back up in the press up. You're always stronger on the lower, so you can control yourself down. As your nose gets towards the floor, you can then drop your knees, maintaining that hip forward position, push back up with the easier element of being on your knees. When you get back to the top, you go back to your toes, maintaining that straight body position, glutes engaged, core engaged, and then lower again. So even when you get to a point where you can do 2 or 3 press ups, because you can only do 2 or 3, don't just think, well, I'll just do them off my knees anyway. Do the 2 or 3, then switch to the lowering. When you get to a point where you just can't physically lower yourself under control anymore, only then do you go back to your knees. And that will progress you quicker through going from knee press ups to full press ups. We've got lots of guys and girls that can knock out a lot of press ups now, and it just comes with practice. So don't get disheartened, don't get put off, don't think I can't go to prime mover because I can't do press ups, because that's what we're here for. It's not just about fat loss, it's about getting you stronger, getting you performing better as a human being, and being able to do these movements that we should all be able to do. So check out the video, see what you think, have a little practice, incorporate it into your sessions when you're at prime mover, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon.